Hagerman National Wildlife Refuge is located on the southern portion of the big mineral arm of Lake Texoma. The lake spans the border between Texas and Oklahoma to the north. Hagerman was established in 1946. There are numerous species that make their home in the refuge, whether permanently or seasonally during the migration. The area is approximately 12,000 acres, made up of both uplands and wetlands. I had the opportunity to take my time and explore Hagerman last winter. I spent 15 days photographing and filming from mid-December of 2019 until mid-January of 2020.
No better place to drink coffee than out in the wilderness.
I'm there every morning. This is one of the many small ponds within the wetlands of Hagerman. A few days ago, while scouting, I built this hide using dead grasses and debris from the area. Nothing fancy. It was only going to be used for a few weeks. I constructed it to look as natural as possible. It needed to blend into its surroundings.
It's getting more light now. I can hear some songbirds around, but there's no ducks in the pond yet. It's a waiting game, which is all it is.
It certainly wasn't quiet walking through the woods that day. The dry leaves made it impossible to not make noise. I was slowly making my way closer to the bank of the creek when something burst out from the underbrush. A large wild hog took off running through the woods. What she left behind were at least 3 piglets. It was thick brush, that's all that I could see. They were no more than 30 feet in front of me. I quickly shot a few frames, then backed off. I had no intention of frightening them any more than I already had. Wild hogs are not well known for their gentle disposition.
I got out here a little later than I wanted to this morning. 7:45 in the morning. I got up a little later than normal, but I started coming out around 7, but I got sidetracked talking with a lady on the way in, walking her dog with her camera, and so I didn't get here as early as I wanted to. I got here after it was already light. The sun wasn't up yet, but it was already light. There was a lot of, there was probably a dozen ducks and a great blue heron here when I got here. Of course, I scared them away. Hopefully there'll be more that'll stop by soon. We'll see. It's not the best hide, but it was a quick build.
I had been in the hide for hours already that morning and was considering moving to a different location when these turtles quite literally popped up out of the water. They were fascinating to watch swim around. One of them was interested in my hide. It came right up to it. I was only about 5 feet from the bank, and that's how close it got, checking me out, or at least trying to see what this new pile of sticks and brush was.
I could hear a kingfisher chirping in the distance. He's not too far away. I've been shooting a couple of kingfishers the last few days.
It was a cold morning. There was a heavy frost from the previous night. This whitetail was curious about me as I was making my way to one of my hides that morning. There was a foggy mist coming off of the pond that morning, along with a few mallards milling around in the cold. Across Beaver Pond, the sun started to illuminate the fog along with the waterfowl on its surface. The roads through the refuge make it easily accessible for everyone. Birding and photography are very popular activities here. One extremely foggy morning, I decided to stop in this location and wait for the sun to come up. The visibility was not very good, maybe 30 yards. I had parked my truck and made my way over to the side of the road, settling in and waiting. It was still fairly dark when I heard something walk through the water. A doe appeared through the mist as she crested the berm. A few moments later, a buck came through. What a great way to start the morning, spending a few minutes with this pair. A short time later, as the light was increasing, I could start to make out a few great egrets in the marsh across the road. I watched them as they waded through the water, their beaks darting into the shallows, snatching a morning meal. The morning brought a frenzy of activity. These northern shovelers were quite industrious, moving around and feeding. They are a very interesting duck to observe. The great blue heron is approximately 4 feet tall with a nearly 6-foot wingspan. They hunt in the shallows, waiting for their prey to swim near them. And with a thrust of their bill, a meal has been served.
Dude, a bird just landed in here. It startled me. He was only about 1.5 feet from my head. A little sparrow, I think. Startled me. I think I startled it.
I had a fantastic time during my visits to Hagerman National Wildlife Refuge. Some days, I would sit and hide for hours on end, seeing nothing, listening to the sounds of nature with nothing to photograph. Other days, there was so much activity that I couldn't shoot at all. Either way, being immersed in nature is one of the main reasons why I do this. Any day in the field is a great day. As far as the natural hides that I built while I was here, before I ever leave an area where I'm working, I always ensure that they are torn down and the area is as natural as I first got there. Always be a good steward when you are in nature. Take care of her and she'll take care of you. I'm more of a sunrise guy myself. I enjoy being out when the day begins. That being said, the sunsets in the refuge are beautiful. I hope you enjoyed watching. I invite you to come back and watch the next video I make. I greatly appreciate everyone who supports what I do. Thank you.